Hello Planning Mashers and welcome. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you always know when I release a new video. Today we are talking about goals and more importantly, how to use your bullet journal to achieve them. I will share with you several goals-themed bullet journal pages that help me to rock my goals and will definitely be a useful addition to your journal. So get your supplies ready and let's plan. I know we already had a video about pages I use for setting my goals and you can check it out here. But I wanted to kind of go more into detail how exactly I set my goals and show you a few other pages that might be useful for goal setting and rocking them in 2020. For these setups, I am using B5 Archer and Olive Notebook and my newly bought Tombow twin tone markers. They are amazing and I must admit that I might have went a little bit overboard with colors here, but I honestly just couldn't help myself. Okay, so the first page I'm creating is a goals page and this is going to be divided by 4. So the way I plan my goals is I don't actually have complete yearly goals. I start by creating kind of a vision board or just writing down general directions where I want to go and who I want to be by the end of the year. But I realized that setting up straight goals for the whole year doesn't really work that well because circumstances change, things go differently, not everything goes according to plan. Actually, most of things don't. So I kind of thought I needed a little bit more flexibility, and I also figured that it's much easier to achieve goals when you have them divided into smaller goals. So that's why I am planning by quarters. And the thing is that it means that I don't actually have to plan out the whole year. Now, I do have my goals set for first and second quarter, but I don't actually have anything solid for the third and fourth quarter. That way, I'm actually more flexible and I can have some time to think on what should I do for the rest of the year. And it also depends a lot on how my first 2 quarters go. So it's pretty convenient. That way, I also don't have to try to complete all my goals at once. I can actually assign quarters to separate goals and just spend 3 months working very thoroughly on just one thing, which usually brings much better results. Now, on the other side, I'm creating a yearly plan. And I really recommend having these two together because they kind of help each other in a way. Yearly plan page is in a way a future log for your goals. Now, this is where I write all the big events which are connected to my goals, all the milestones, and generally all the things that can somehow influence it. For example, I have a lot of working goals. So on this page, I can write when I have some big work events, collaboration deadlines, or some meetups. And that way I know that these months I will be probably occupied by something else. So I have to set my goals accordingly. It would be very useful to also add here any vacations or travels, because if you travel, that usually means that you have less time to work on your goals. So that's also something you would like to take into consideration when you set your goals. Now, as you can see, I actually made a huge mistake. I missed May, so my 4 lines for each quarter don't really coincide, and I couldn't find a better way to fix this error. So what I did is just I cut out some piece of paper from the end of my journal. I just edited over my mistakes and I wrote the correct months there. So as you can see, my months don't really go properly, but at least still every quarter coincides with a proper month. Next spread is my why. The thing that I learned from my journey to achieving my goals is that it's much easier to do so when you know why you actually do it. And more importantly, you have to understand that this is your goal and this is actually something you want. That's why I find this page super useful, because you write down the goal and then you write down why you want to achieve it. It's actually a great exercise that will help you to kind of test whether it's actually your goal that you want or if it isn't. Because let's be honest, there are so many people around us, everyone sharing their goals, their aspirations, and there are so many good things you could be doing. It's pretty easy to kind of set your goal and feel like, oh, that's what I want, but in reality, that's not really. Another thing I added here is how I would feel when I achieve it. I'm a true believer in the law of attraction, and I think when you visualize exactly how your life is going to be when you achieve something, exactly how you will feel, when you write it as if you already achieved it, it gives your brain a signal that this is something that is possible. So I decided to add this section here as well. That way you don't really have to do a full-on visual board, but still you have a place where you can manifest your goals and the final result you want to achieve. Now we move into a smaller way to plan your goals, and this is the way I plan my goals by quarter. So quarter is divided by 3 months, and each month I divide into main monthly focus, first 2 weeks and last 2 weeks. Later I have a spread and you will see that I actually plan week by week, but in this big quarter overview I kind of wanted to do it that way. I find it a little bit more convenient. This is very useful because that way you can assign a certain focus for each month, and again you get better results if you concentrate on just one thing instead of trying to do several things. It works great also if, for example, you have several goals for first quarter, then you can assign different months for different goals. Finally is my monthly goals page. For this example, I'm putting it at January. First of all, I start by stating my monthly focus. This is very important because this is something that will guide me through the whole month. This is something that keeps me focused on this one important thing and makes sure that I stay on track. After that, there is an action plan for each week on how I want to achieve the goal for the month. Obviously, this plan is not set in stone, and of course there are some changes during the month and everything, but it's extremely beneficial to have this plan as your basis, because as the month goes, a lot of things happen, something else comes up, there might be something urgent, and it's a little bit more difficult to think about your goals and try to plan it out day by day. But if you have already this basic plan, it's so much more convenient and you will get much better result. And this is how I plan my goals. Let me know how you do that. And I will see you in the next video. Keep bullet journaling and don't be a blob. Bye!